Hello, all. Welcome back to Happy Healing Vibrations. I hope everybody is well. It is December the 2nd, 2025, and this is a general reading for the water signs Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, okay? It is for the month of December. I pulled my cards, I'd saged, I said a little prayer. I did that all off of camera because the videos are kind of long and I do want to just have messages, okay? Especially when I'm pulling this many cards. So, this is for the month of December for again Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, okay? So, starting off with the month of December, first let's go with the overall energy. We got the Five of Pentacles and good news. Okay, so I feel like someone's coming in from out of the cold. They are finding truth. They're finding clarity. It's something good. You know, maybe you've felt out in the cold. You felt shut out. You felt like something unfair happened to you. And, there is good news coming in. It's coming in fast, blowing in fast. And it is going to be, it is going to make you happy, okay? It's going to be fair. Okay, so that's your overall energy. Bottom of the deck, you had Fool. That's jumping in, taking risks, longing for. Yeah, the Devil, addictions, feeling tied down, chaos, chaotic energy, manipulative energy, and justice. So those are followed up by and clarified by intimacy, naive, and overthinking. So maybe you are overthinking or obsessively thinking about, something that happened recently or, yeah, recently. Maybe you're wanting justice. You've been overthinking it about it, dwelling on it. You're not sure where this is gonna go. You're a bit naive. You're a bit naive about what happened. You're kind of like, I think you think that you're right in this situation. But you're naive. You know, you have played a little part in it. To there's two sides, and I think you genuinely don't understand what you've done. You know, there will be justice for both. You're shielded, though. I do see an umbrella there, and, I do see crying, emotions. Huh. So maybe you're overthinking and crying about a situation that happened, whether it be in a friendship group, at work, at home, in a family. It doesn't matter where. Could have been a court case. Could have been a lawsuit. I am getting shielded, but I am seeing lots of tears, lots of overthinking. Um, this is something big. Um, don't be a fool. Like, what you're looking at, what you're tempted by, is not is the devil. You know, it's not good. There will be justice. There will be karma. You know, don't be naive. You're overthinking too much. This could be relationship wise. Let's continue and we'll pull it together, okay? But there is good news. You are coming in from the cold. You know, you are coming in from the cold. Maybe maybe you have had an issue in your relationship. You know, maybe you or your partner have been unfair with each other, and maybe your partner's been hard to deal with, or you've been hard to deal with. Okay? Maybe you've been crying a lot and overthinking this relationship. Maybe you've been trying to think about what you can do to make things better, okay? But remember, you are coming in from the cold and good news is coming, so you've got awakening, protection, peace, and thought. So I feel like you need to protect your peace. You know, you've been overthinking, you've been thinking a lot, you've been like driving yourself crazy. You know, there is this toxic energy, there is this toxic situation. You feel like kind of like you've been such a fool, you know? There will be justice. Because good news is coming. You know, you'll be coming in from out of the cold. You are going to protect your peace. You do have protection. You know, you've opened up it. You have clarity in everything that's going on. You've woken up, you know, from this thought process, this thinking, this devil thinking, this chaotic thinking, this addictive thinking. You're learning to have faith. You're learning to have faith. You're learning to think for yourself. You're learning to think for yourself. You know, you're meeting people halfway. You're showing more love, or they're showing more love to you. You know, humility is showing me, humility is making me feel like maybe you've been a little hard to handle. Maybe you need to start meeting people halfway. You need to, I'm seeing the love stairs. It's like they're meeting each other halfway. Humility. Friendships. Maybe you or your friendships, you have been taking advantage of people less than or smaller than you, or vice versa. I want to say it's friendships taking advantage of friendships, taking advantage of people, or maybe they're taking advantage of you. I feel like with this awakening, and like it almost looks like her when she was younger. This is her older. I feel like you've had like a young mind, or someone has been young minded. I feel like this first week of December is almost like Someone's waking up, growing up, you know? Like they're like, oh my God, what have I done? How have I been to these people, these friends? You know, taking the bigger, I've been taking too much, you know? Or they've been taking too much. But there's a realization the first week of December where you're realizing, you know, you have to have humility and you have to paint a new narrative, paint a new picture. You're creating your own life. Meet people halfway, show love, or vice versa. You need to paint your new narrative. You need to life can be what you want it to be. So create something beautiful. I feel like the first week of December, which is this week, I feel like you're focusing on creating change within your life. Whether you're creating change the way you treat people or you're setting boundaries on the way people treat you. The second week of December, Five of Cups. Some sort of spill happened. There's messy situation. Someone's looking down. You know, there is still a star out that window shining bright. Like, there's still hope. There's still cups that are filled, but, you know, you're standing in all the mess. So I feel like in the second week of December, you're still dealing with, so maybe you had that clarity, and in the second week maybe you're still dwelling a little bit. You know, there's a mess. There could be someone coming in, an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, um, maybe you know, there's secrets coming out maybe about this Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. There's secrets, dark secrets. This person, I think it's a feminine energy. You know, maybe celebrating. Maybe people are celebrating this week. They're celebrating. These dark secrets look like they're coming out and being illuminated. And then I'm seeing celebration as well. So maybe people are celebrating, and then leaving a message. So I think like something's coming out in the second week of December. Some sort of secret is being spilled by possibly a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, someone who is of, I want to say, more, not young adult, but I want to say 30s, early 40s. You know, this person has secrets. Maybe they're spilling secrets, spilling tea. Oh. It's weird because the spill, right? Secrets, celebration. So there's like some secrets, but then there's like a spark, like illuminating all through here. So I think somebody is coming through, spilling secrets, you know, and it's a woman or someone. It's a woman, but she's also got, she's almost like, she's so sure of herself. You know, she's had a lot of growth. It's a lot of growth. She could have really long hair. She could be a red. She could have red hair. She could. Red could also represent root chakra. She could be very grounded. I do think that there's a lot of mountains to climb. This person's, stush. I see, like, got his pants up his ass. Like he's a tight ass. Like, huh? I'm getting like someone who's got their sleeves up, ready to work, kind of like a tight ass micromanage. Um, maybe maybe they're like constantly looking at problems, creating problems. But there are some secrets coming out. Someone is spilling tea in the second week of December. Secrets are coming out. Tea is spilling, and people are celebrating it. Okay? That could be the good news. That could be the good news. Some sort of secret is being spilled. That could be the good news, which brings you in from out of the cold, okay? You are protecting your peace. Maybe that's where the justice is coming in, too. Maybe the secret is about abuse or addiction. There will be justice. I don't think you were aware of it. I think you were naive to it, but you've had this awakening and, you've been overthinking a lot and, crying, a lot of emotions. Okay, so the third week of December. So that Knight of Swords, there's now a King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you're heavily influenced or dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It could also be your sun, moon, or rising sign. Four of Cups, I feel like someone's doing a lot of thinking. There's a lot of overthinking, a lot of emotionally charged energy. I feel like someone's dwelling, or someone is thinking logically about what's happened, what the secret is. I feel like, with the humility and this girl, and she's like stressed out, and then the friendship group giving less than and having that awakening. You or someone in the friend group, is could be the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They could have brought it to your attention. But there's someone logical coming in. There's logic coming in, and starting to think about what had happened. You're daydreaming of what had happened. I think I'm seeing an eye like everywhere. Maybe someone is trying to overturn every rock. Maybe someone's watching you, daydreaming of what could have been. But I am getting someone like watching, maybe feeling tired, drained. Then you got rock bottom and say less. I feel like someone's questioning someone and there's like a lot of denial. And I am seeing like someone of stature, like someone bigger, or so, like a boss, or like a professional. hitting rock bottom. You know, in the third week of December, I am seeing that someone's going to be feeling very tired, very down. They're going to feel like they've hit rock bottom. And maybe if someone is questioning you a lot, maybe you shouldn't say too much to protect your peace. Again, protect your peace, right? Maybe to protect your peace, you need to... Wow, you're tired. You're overthinking. You've hit rock bottom. Say less. There's a lot of gossip. And the third week is going to be a very tough week, okay? It's going to be a tough week. I think that you need to maybe just not say too much. Just kind of like think logical and keep your head down, okay? But the fourth week of December is bringing in change. It is bringing in like that youth-like energy. Again, you are going to be feeling enthusiastic, okay? You are feeling change. So even with, these hard things that are coming in, I'm getting leadership. So yeah, could be someone in a leadership role who's kind of hit rock bottom. Maybe someone's been investigating them. Say less. Maybe a lot of people have come forward. I feel like this person's kind of hitting rock bottom. Someone's doing an investigation. People are tired. Yeah, dwelling. But I feel like in the fourth week of December, you are going to be feeling enthusiastic. You're getting butterflies, butterflies, butterflies. So I feel like there is a transformation that's going to come out of this. Growth. Growth is going to come out of this. Peace and stillness. So this situation does have to come to light. There must be justice for peace and growth, okay? So I think in this final week of December, you are going to... There's the butterfly again. I feel like there was a messy situation, that did not go in your favor, or it didn't go in your favor, and there's been a lot of, arguing, drama, investigations going on. But you're awakening up to this, and I feel like you're growing from it, and you're enthusiastic about your path forward. I feel like if you don't want to, like, if you fear change, it's gonna hold you back. So this is the Fool. You can't fear change. You just kind of gotta jump right in, okay? And with change, you'll transform, okay? You're gonna have to keep the faith that you're protected, and that you do have some people who are loyal to you. And again, look at with peace. So there was peace. There's more peace. There was one more piece right here. Look at peace, and peace. Peace is what you want. Peace is what everybody wants. peace, protection, and transformation. So I feel like this month is all going to be about coming in from the cold, taking your peace back, resting, and fixing relationships, okay? Have faith that good news is coming and that you are coming out of the cold, that you are coming out of that messy energy, and that, there's something better for you. There is going to be justice, okay? I want to pull, just because that was such a heavy reading, um, and kind of fast. It was kind of fast, I do want to pull some advice for you because, sorry, too many cards. Hold on. Sorry, I just had two decks, one on top of the other, and they were slipping out of my hand because it was too big. So anyways, I want to pull some guidance cards for you because I feel like this month is going to be a really tough one. Hold on. I feel like this month is going to be a really tough month. So I do want to leave you with some sort of guidance, okay? So, soften the anchor. What's once protected you may now be holding you back. Let your heart breathe without defense. Recognize relational wounds. Not every scar came from cruelty. Some came from absence, silence, or unmet needs. Name what hurt you. Honor the contract. Some lessons were written before you arrived. Facing them now completes the soul agreement. Untangle emotional dependency. When love feels like survival, it's not love, it's fear. You're safe without the attachment. I think it's time to release the fear, release the defense. Maybe time to open up your heart and stop being defensive. Untangle the mess and recognize like what's hurting you or how you're hurting others, and honor the contract. Lessons are for growth. Lessons are for growing. When you can't learn from your lesson, you're gonna keep having it. So I feel like it is going to be a very tough month for water signs. However, I feel like good news is coming, and you will be coming out of the cold in the final week of December. I feel like you're going to have an awakening, and you're going to find your peace, whether, you've been blocking yourself, because you're not learning a lesson that God wants you to learn, that your guides want you to learn. It's time to soften up and untangle yourself. Okay? Yeah. So that's everything, water signs. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and remember that this is not set in stone. That what it's telling you is, you can learn from this. You can transform from this. You've got a lot of transformation cards. You could definitely learn from this and move forward in a healthy way. The longer it takes for you to learn the lessons that you need to learn, the harder it's going to be, because the longer it's going to take for you to learn that lesson. You're going to have to go through more situations that are going to come forward in order for that justice to come through. So, you know, you can prevent that by awakening to this, protecting your peace, and finding balance, loving more, giving more, or vice versa. If you're in that kind of relationship or you have this kind of friendship group and you know that, you deserve better, it's time for you to leave that situation and go find better. Okay? Trust the process. Thank you so much, water signs, for joining me today for the full reading of December for all water signs. I hope that you're following me on TikTok at Happy Healing Vibrations. Please follow me. Starting January, I'm going to teach you how to make luck candles and healing candles. I have been making them for myself and my loved ones, and I love them, and I want to teach you how to create them for yourself. If you want to get a personal reading, you can email me at happyhealingvibrations@gmail.com, or you can go to my website www.happyhealingvibrations.com and send me a request, an email through my website. Send me an email, let me know what you're looking for, your name and your birthday, and then within 24 to 48 hours, I will respond to you with a time or date, and we can confirm that that will work for you, okay? Please like and subscribe to my videos. Please share my videos with people that you think might benefit from them. And if you'd like to make a comment underneath, please say hello. I'd love to know who's watching my readings. I'd love to connect with you. Okay, I'm wishing you the very best, and I hope that this month, I hope that the good news is better than the spilled milk, the spilled tea, okay? I am wishing you the best. Take care.